What's up, family? Man, I want to have a real heart to heart with you guys today. Man, this is going to be the first in a series. Um, um, Stay with me, and we're going to go somewhere. Okay. Um, a while back, I'd studied the 12 universal laws, and I hadn't studied it in a while. I hadn't picked it up in a while. Like to donate it all too much for the most part. Um, about a week ago, I was talking to a young lady and she was talking about it. I was like, oh man, I need to talk about that. I need to do a series on the universal laws. It was in the back of my mind, hadn't done it. Um, Yesterday I was at the beach and something popped up on my phone talking about the 12 universal laws. I was like, oh yeah, man, I need to do this. You know what I mean? I need to do this. Man, today, situation happened, and I'll get more into that in a minute. And it was just a confirmation, bro, you tripping. You need to do this. And because of the severity, man, I'm compelled to do this series now. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm gonna start with a story. Um, there was a story of a Navy captain who was in charge of this big battleship, and he was out to sea. And war tested. Man, this guy's known, throughout the ranks, throughout the military, for being a proven warrior. You know what I mean? This guy's not afraid of anything. There's nothing that intimidates this guy. This Navy captain, man, he has one of the baddest ships in the Navy. You know what I mean? He's known for going into difficult situations and getting people to surrender and getting people to change their methods or their ideology. You know what I mean? Stay with me. And so captain's out to sea, and it's nighttime, and this fog comes upon the ship as it's moving. And so there's this light way out in the back, and somebody's telling the captain, man, there's a light out there. The captain looks at it on the telescope and everything else, and the binoculars, and he sees this light, can't tell what it is. And so he sends message down to the communications department of the ship to tell this person that, man, this is the United States Navy, man, turn their ship. And so the message goes out. The message comes back in through the light. You turn your ship. The captain's kind of perturbed by this. Who the heck is this person to challenge me? You know what I mean? And so the captain again sends out message. This is Captain so and so of the United States Navy. I'm giving you a direct order. Turn your ship. Message comes back. You turn your ship. Captain's pissed. He's beyond pissed now. Who the fuck does this person think they are? Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. Tells the communications department, tell this asshole to turn his ship or he's going to be fired upon. Message comes back. This is a lighthouse. Turn your ship or you're going to crash. Why am I talking about that? What does that mean? There are certain laws in nature, certain laws in the world that if you don't understand, man, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Ignorance of the law is no excuse. I found that out today. You know what I mean? Ignorance of the law is no excuse. And many of us, we don't understand that there are universal laws. And so we live our life based on this ignorance, not understanding, man, that there's laws out there that affects how we live our life, that affects my life. We understand that the United States or whatever country you live in, it has its laws, whatever state, whatever cities, towns, they have their laws. But there are 12 universal laws, you know, that override, if you will, any man-made law. Okay, these laws come from God. These laws have been established by God. 12 universal laws. And the trip is, so many of us, because we don't understand these laws or know that these laws exist, when we're in violation of these laws, universe, source, God has a way of trying to get our attention that we're in violation of some law, we're in violation of something, and we don't understand that. And so oftentimes we look at it as, man, the devil's after me, the devil's attacking me, the devil's attacking my finances, the devil's attacking my joy, the devil's trying to take my peace of mind, the devil's trying to affect my weight, the devil's doing this, the devil's doing this. I got these witches, these warlocks, and these, you know, Satan worshipers and all this other stupid ass shit we say. Man, these people are coming against me because I'm a child of God and da 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 da. And 99.9% of the time, it ain't none of that shit. It's the simple fact that you're in violation of one of the universal laws. You are in violation of one of the universal laws and you don't even know it. And because you don't know it, you demonize what you don't understand. You demonize your situation and say that it's something that it's not because you lack understanding. There's 12 universal laws. What are they? Let's see, bring it up. The law of divine oneness, the law of vibration, the law of correspondence, the law of attraction, the law of inspired action, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy, the law of cause and effect, the law of compensation, the law of relativity, the law of polarity, the law of rhythm, and the law of gender. And we'll be discussing each and every one of these and how they affect our life. Over the next couple of weeks, we'll be talking about each of those. I'll have these 12 laws written down in the description so you can bring it up or look at it and look it up on your own and do your own research, if you will. And I'll just briefly touch on each of them over the next couple of weeks. The trip this morning, I've done something that I've done for a long time, for a lot of times. I had a little tiny pocket knife in my um in my pocket, and not even thinking about it. I've done this so many times. You know what I mean? Hundreds of times. You know what I mean? Where I've had this pocket knife, jumped on a train and went out to the beach. You know what I mean? Or just jumped on a train going somewhere. And not even understanding, that, man, not even knowing that you couldn't do it. You know what I mean? Just a little tiny pocket knife. No big deal. I'm not a violent person. I didn't have it for self-defense. Out at the beach, I use it a lot, cutting fishing wire and just all that other stuff. And so it was nothing negative, intentions whatsoever, just something that I've always done, not even understanding that it was in violation of the law. And so I'm out there, jumped on one train, and it's true because I'm walking and I see cops all the time at the train station. I'm laughing and joking with some of them. We're just getting directions from some of them. We're talking about sports, we're talking about the weather, we're talking about everything, right? And I got this same pocket knife in my pocket. You know what I mean? And there's no big deal to me because I didn't understand the law. And so I'm always carrying this with me, but I didn't understand the law. And because nobody had told me about this, nobody had warned me, nobody had addressed it to me, nobody had even mentioned the fact that, hey, man, you can't have that. Hey, bro, I know you new to New York and but bro, you can't do that. You know what I mean? I know it's no big deal to you, but yeah, you could have it in the city, but you can't have it in a train system. You could have it walking around town and everywhere else, but you just can't have it in the train system. Didn't even know that. Completely oblivious to it. Never even thought about it. Why am I bringing that up? Because that's how so many of us live our lives. So many of us are so clueless of how these laws affect our life. So many of us are so clueless how the law of cause and effect, the law of oneness, and all these other laws, the law of rhythm, how these unique laws affect different areas and aspects of our lives. We're completely oblivious to it. No one's ever told us about it. So many of us, we grew up in Christianity or whatever religious group you believe you grew up in. And so we had these 10 commandments and we thought, man, okay, if I obey these 10 commandments, I'm good. And da 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 da. And there's so many people that obey the 10 commandments and they're still frustrated. They still don't have any joy. They still don't have any peace of mind. They're still broke financially in every other way. Their health is shot. You know what I mean? Because they're obeying the laws of man. They're obeying the 10 commandments according to their religious or their group, but they're not understanding that God has universal laws. And because they're in violation of these universal laws, it's affecting their life. They could keep the 10 commandments all they want to. 10 commandments are not going to give you peace of mind. 10 commandments is not going to put money in your pocket. The 10 Commandments is not going to break your generational curses and all this other bullshit that we say we have. Keeping the 10 Commandments ain't going to do that. We have to understand that there's a bigger play. We have to get tapped into God's source, the Most High, and understand that there are 12 different laws that He has in place that govern the universe. And if you want to be successful in this realm, if you want peace and joy and happiness and all this other stuff in this realm, then you have to understand these universal laws. If you want to understand why I keep going through the same shit over and over and over and over, you have to understand, okay, yeah, there's some shit that I got to deal with in regards to why I keep doing this. And part of that is understanding that there's a universal law at play that governs this aspect of how I live my life. There's a bigger play. It's like Monopoly or driving a vehicle. If you want to drive, there's certain rules you got to abide by. If you want to play the game of Monopoly, there's rules to the game. And you have to obey the rules and follow the rules to be able to play the game successfully. And even in Monopoly, when you follow the rules, man, sometimes you have bad luck just by how you roll your dice. That has nothing to do with real life. Real life, there is no bad luck. There's just a lack of understanding. See, I used to think that if I didn't have bad luck, I didn't have any luck. I used to think that I was cursed. It wasn't until I understood and got tapped into God, source the Most High, and started understanding the laws that govern my life in this universe. I had to tap in and understand, dang, okay, I'm not cursed. I'm just in violation of these laws. How am I in violation of this law right here? What is it that I'm doing? How is it that I'm thinking? What is my thought process that makes me in violation of this specific law? If I want this law working on my behalf, then I have to understand the law and abide by the realm governed by that law. See, many of us, we have no understanding. The universal law of oneness, we have no understanding of that law. We have no clue of how we are intimately connected to each other. Every one of us. Everything is connected. We say that, but we really don't understand the depths of that. You've heard so many people talk about, man, everything's connected. When you delve into the law of oneness, it breaks it down and explains how everything is connected. This morning, everything is connected. I went to one train. I was having a hard time trying to put money on my ticket so that I could go. Got it situated, went through the gate, missed one train because I'm messing with this ticket booth thing. Caught another train. Get off, walk down, going to another train, and that's where they stopped me. Everything's connected. Because I spent so much time on the first train, on the booth, I missed the first train. It wasn't bad luck. It was divine timing. Everything is connected. Get off the train, coming down, these guys are just walking up. I see them, but I'm not worried about them. I'm not doing anything wrong. I didn't think. And they just happened to see a little tiny clip that my knife was hooked to my pocket. And they stopped me for that. Everything is connected. It's a trip how God works, how Source Universe works. And when you understand, you get tapped in to God. And I'm not talking about religion. When you really get tapped into Source, and you start talking about, man, I want to go deeper. I want a closer relationship with you. I want to know more about God, Source, the Most High, Universe. Okay. It's going to teach you more. It's going to make you learn those 12 laws in depth. In depth. Not just be able to quote the 12 laws, but to be able to explain how each law affects certain parts of our lives. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. You could break the law all you want to, not knowing that you're breaking the law. You're still going to have to answer for it. You're still going to have to answer for that, even if you didn't know you were doing anything wrong. You're going to answer for that. My hope and prayer is that, man, you stay with us over the next few weeks, couple weeks, as we break down each of these 12 laws. But that you take these laws and you do your own research. You look them up yourselves. And you take a personal hold of each one of these laws. And watch how it transcends, how it transforms your way of thinking, your way of seeing your life, your way of seeing the world. Because once you get tapped into Source, the 12 laws are an extension of Source, God, the Most High. Once you tap into these 12 laws, universal laws, you're tapped into God. You're tapped into Source. You're tapped into your greater good, the best version of yourself. I hope and pray that I said something to encourage you, to inspire you, to motivate you, to challenge your way of thinking. We have to grow up. Namaste. Happy healing.